Hey everyone. If you're here, you're probably wondering whether cats and dogs can really live together peacefully.
Right.
It's a question we get a lot.
Definitely a classic.
So today we're going to take a deep dive using this awesome episode of the Paw and Mustache Love podcast.
Oh yeah, Lucas and Mariana, they're great.
They really are, and they bust some myths about cats and dogs, and even talk about the dog breeds known for being the most cat-friendly.
Definitely important stuff to think about.
Totally. So we've all heard that saying, right?
Yeah.
Fight like cats and dogs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But apparently, choosing the right breed can really change things for a multi-species home.
It really can. Certain breeds are actually predisposed to getting along with cats.
You mentioned you were thinking about getting a golden retriever.
I am, yeah. Thinking about it, at least.
They definitely have a rep for being super gentle, but there's more to it than that.
Oh.
Lucas and Mariana say it's not just about being calm. Golden retrievers have strong pack instincts, so they're less likely to see a cat as prey and more likely to see a cat as, like, part of the family to protect.
Like a built-in furry bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. They even get called cat nannies sometimes.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know, right?
It makes sense, though. Golden retrievers have that protective side, but they're not usually aggressive at all.
They're like natural caretakers, which makes them such good companions for cats.
It's like they were born to be friends.
Totally. And then there's Labrador Retrievers, another super popular breed.
Oh, labs are the best.
I know. So patient and friendly.
Yeah, which would make them another top contender for being good with cats.
Would you say they're kind of similar to Goldens in that way?
Definitely. And that patience is super important when you're first introducing dogs and cats.
Yeah, true. You can't just expect them to be best friends immediately.
Exactly. Even with a breed known for being cat-friendly, it's still all about going slow and having a really well-planned intro.
Which is something Lucas and Mariana talked a lot about.
I really stress that, yeah.
It makes total sense.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't just throw them together and hope for the best.
Right.
Plus, Lucas and Mariana mentioned a bunch of other cat-friendly breeds, too.
Like what?
Well, there's the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. They're known for being affectionate and calm.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And then there's the toy Poodle, which is intelligent, trainable, and adaptable.
That tracks. They're smart little dogs.
Oh, and even Basset Hounds. Generally pretty chill and don't mind cats.
Really? That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. And then you've got Beagles. They're energetic, but love company. And Shih Tzus, super affectionate and sociable.
Wow, so many good options to think about.
Like, it really does seem like a lot of breeds could potentially work out well with cats.
Yeah, but Lucas and Mariana made a good point.
Oh, what's that?
Just because you pick a certain breed doesn't automatically mean things will be perfect.
Oh, right. It's like assuming roommates will be best friends just because they like the same music.
Exactly. Individual personalities make a huge difference.
Makes sense.
Lucas and Mariana really emphasized having those gradual and supervised introductions.
So many.
And using positive reinforcement with treats and toys.
Yeah, so both animals can adjust to each other.
Exactly. It's a new dynamic for everyone involved, really.
It's true. And speaking of adjusting, they also said neutering is really important, helps reduce those territorial behaviors that can cause problems.
Oh, definitely a big factor. We should talk more about that in a bit.
For sure. We've got to dive into that.
Yeah, neutering's super important, but Lucas and Mariana also highlighted that adoption is a lifelong commitment.
Oh, for sure. You're not just bringing a pet home, you're welcoming a new member of your family.
Exactly. And you have to be ready for that.
They also said to really think about your existing pet's personality.
Makes sense. Not every cat's going to be thrilled about a new dog moving in.
Right. Some are super welcoming and others are more on the territorial side.
Exactly. You really got to think about how your cat might react.
And if you're not sure, Lucas and Mariana recommend getting guidance from a trainer or a vet.
Oh, yeah, that's great advice.
They can give you personalized advice for your specific situation.
It's like having a coach in your corner for those first few weeks with your new pet.
I like that. So it seems like they really covered everything. Breed selection, introductions, the long-term commitment.
We've really thought of it all.
But I'm still kind of curious to hear more about why neutering is so important for multi-species homes.
Yeah, let's dig into that.
What exactly did Lucas and Mariana have to say about it?
Well, they said neutering isn't just about preventing those, unwanted litters.
Oh, right.
It's about helping to create, a more stable and peaceful environment at home, especially when you have both cats and dogs.
So it's not just population control. There are behavioral benefits, too.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about hormones.
Makes sense.
When animals aren't neutered, those hormonal surges, those can trigger territorial behavior, especially in males, which can lead to aggression and dominance displays.
Oh, so that could cause conflict between the cats and dogs.
Exactly.
So by neutering, you're basically removing a major source of tension.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then those natural instincts for, companionship and play, those can come through more.
Exactly. It's like it levels the playing field and helps those cat-friendly traits, those personality traits we talked about before.
Right.
Those can really shine through.
I like that. It sounds like Lucas and Mariana really stressed understanding your cat's personality.
Oh, they did. They did.
Like figuring out if they'd even be open to having a dog around.
Yeah, for sure. They said it's more than just knowing if your cat's, generally friendly or shy.
Oh.
Some cats are just totally aloof.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't care at all if there's a dog around.
Right.
While others are going to be way more territorial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they might see a new dog as a threat.
It's like every cat has their own comfort level when it comes to, other animals.
That's a great way to put it. And that's where getting advice from, a professional can be really helpful.
Okay, so like a trainer or a vet.
Yeah.
They can help you figure out your cat's individual needs and make a plan for introducing them to a dog.
Exactly. A plan that will minimize stress for everybody.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a scary experience.
No, definitely not.
So it's kind of like translating,
What do you mean?
like helping the cat and dog understand each other.
I like that. Helping them understand each other's signals, their boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the goal isn't to force them to be best friends, right? It's more about them coexisting peacefully.
Exactly. It's all about having realistic expectations.
So even if they're not cuddling up on the couch together,
Right.
as long as they're not fighting, that's a win.
Absolutely. And this brings us back to that idea of adoption being a lifelong commitment,
Right.
It's about realizing that cats and dogs, they both have their own needs and personalities, and it's about respecting that.
It's about creating a space where they can live together, harmoniously.
That's the goal, not just throwing them together and hoping for the best.
Yeah, you got to be prepared.
Exactly. And that's the core of being a responsible pet owner, It's not just bringing a pet home.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah. You're welcoming a new family member.
And that family member deserves to feel safe and loved, right?
Absolutely. And understood, too.
And that means creating the right environment, training, support, so they can thrive.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about expanding our compassion.
I like that.
Yeah, and including all creatures, because they all deserve our love and respect.
That's a good point. I think this deep dive has really opened my eyes to the idea that cats and dogs can live together in peace.
Me too.
It's like that old rivalry might just be a myth.
Yeah, it might be. It seems like it's more about, the choices we make as pet owners. If we have the right knowledge, if we're prepared, and if we're patient, I think we can create a world where cats and dogs can live together peacefully.
Now that's a world I want to live in.
Me too.
We've covered so much today, from breed selection to introductions to neutering, all about responsible pet ownership.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
There's definitely a lot to think about when you're creating a multi-species home.
Definitely.
But before we wrap things up, I wanted to touch on one more thing that Lucas and Mariana mentioned.
What's that?
Positive reinforcement.
Right. Good one.
They talked about using treats and toys during introductions. But I'm curious how that works, in the day-to-day.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like once the cat and dog are already living together.
Yeah. So it's about, consistently rewarding that good behavior.
Oh.
So, if your dog, looks at the cat calmly instead of barking or chasing,
Right.
you'd immediately give them a treat and praise them.
So you're basically teaching them, hey, being calm around the cat is good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're reinforcing that idea.
What about for the cat, though? I can't really imagine, training a cat to do tricks.
Right. Cats are definitely a little more independent. Yeah. But the same idea still applies.
Oh, wow.
So, if your cat hangs out in the same room as the dog and doesn't hiss or run away,
Right.
you could, toss them their favorite toy or give them some catnip.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's those little positive interactions that can really add up over time.
Exactly. It creates a more relaxed atmosphere.
For everyone.
For sure. And I think what's really cool about positive reinforcement is that it's all about building up those positive associations rather than punishing, the negative behavior.
Right, because sometimes that can just make things worse.
Exactly. It can create more anxiety.
So it seems like, if you really want to set everyone up for success,
Yeah.
you've got to start with, choosing a cat-friendly breed, Having that slow, well-planned introduction.
Super important.
And then like being patient, using positive reinforcement, and of course neutering.
Can't forget that one.
Right.
Yeah.
All of that can really increase the chances of having a happy multi-species home.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding what both cats and dogs need,
Yeah.
and then creating an environment where everyone's needs are met.
Without conflict.
Exactly. And also like respecting their personalities.
Right.
Finding those ways to like encourage those positive interactions.
So they can at least coexist peacefully.
At least. Hopefully even better than that.
So I think we've successfully debunked that whole cats and dogs are enemies thing.
I think so too.
With a little knowledge, a lot of prep, and a whole lot of love.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible
It's
for
hard.
cats and dogs to live together in peace.
Makes you wonder, like, what's the most important thing for making that happen?
Yeah, what do you think?
It's hard to pick just one.
It is. There are so many factors. And remember, this was just one deep dive.
Right.
With some great insight from Lucas and Mariana.
They really know their stuff.
They do. But every pet is different. Every home is different.
That's true.
So don't be afraid to reach out to, trainers, vets.
Good idea.
Get some personalized advice for your furry family.
Always a good move. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here.
Nope, not at all. But I think the big takeaway is that we can all create a world where cats and dogs live in harmony.
Yeah. As long as we're committed to being responsible pet owners,
I like that.
it all starts with us.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
This was fun.
And we'll see you next time.